Okay, number of attendees is growing, so let's just go ahead and start. Welcome to our workshop. My name is Kate. I'm very excited to have you all here. Today, we will be talking about Forms Builder and mostly about the actual value of different type of forms we offer in Omnisend, what you can get from those forms, what you can achieve. With me, I have my beautiful team, which is Danielle. She is here to present the most important part and talk about that value of those forms. She is from the customer success team. We also have Carolina and Augustina with me. They are product managers, and they are ready to answer all the questions you have, technical ones, or whatever you want to ask about forms. If you have any suggestions, they are also always happy to hear your suggestions and implement them anytime. Yeah, this is the team that is going to share all the secrets today with you. Let me ask them to introduce themselves really quickly.
Hi, I'm Danielle. I am one of the managers of the customer success teams, and I am looking forward to discussing the different types of forms with you today and kind of digging in and showing you how easy it is to create forms with Omnisend.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny. And also Carolina and
Hello.
Augustina with us. Yep.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Carolina, product manager for the Forms team, which is actually developing forms for which we are going to talk today about.
Yeah, and I'm Augustina, the product designer for the Forms team. So I hope to see all of your interests and all of your questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. Let's go quickly through the agenda that we have today. So during the first 30 or 40 minutes of our workshop, we will go through, Danny will walk you through our Forms Builder. She will share her insights, her knowledge on the value of forms, all the secrets, all the ideas that you could implement in your practice to grow your list and achieve more. She will talk about pop-up forms, landing pages, and embedded forms. She will walk you through the library of templates that we prepared for you, that our product team prepared for you, including Carolina and Augustina. And at the end of that presentation, we will have a Q&A session where you would be able to ask all of the questions that you have that you had before, but you couldn't find an answer to. And let's agree on this. When Danny is going to present, and while she's talking about something, any feature or any, for example, pop-up form, and you have a question popping in your head, just type it in a chat, and Danny or Carolina and Augustina will get to that question at the end of our workshop during the Q&A session. So don't hesitate, just type your questions whenever, and we will get back to them. And a couple of more things that is important for me to mention. Don't worry, this workshop is going to be recorded and shared with you. The recording will be available on our platforms, which is Academy and YouTube, tomorrow, where you would be able to find it. But we will also send you an email with that recording so you don't lose it, and we make sure that you get that recording, you rewatch it or share it with your colleagues, with your friends, with anybody who you think might be interested in forms. And this is it. Let's not waste any minute more and get to the most important stuff. So I will ask Danny to take over, and let's dive into forms.
Thank you, Kate. All right, I will share my screen. All right. So thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We're really excited to talk about forms and show you how easy it is to implement them in Omnisend and what your options are. I want to start today with a quick statistic. So about 3% of your first-time visitors that come to your website convert. So that leaves 97% of people that may either leave and come back or leave and not remember the website. So what do we do with those people? you work extremely hard to draw visitors to your website, whether it's building or making sure you choose the right e-commerce platform, doing Google ads, working with your SEO, Facebook ads, you're driving people to your website. How do you capture them and make sure that you have something to be able to market to them later? So that's where forms come in. Right here on our screen, you can see our forms library. So this is where you can see the templates that we have. And as Kate mentioned, we have different types here. We've got pop-ups, embedded, landing page forms. You can see different goals or themes if you're trying to search through here, and different types of form settings. We've got mobile only, desktop. We've got Wheel of Fortune. You can gamify. You can do promotional forms. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a pop-up form. So I'm going to go into one of our Easter settings. As you can see that we have holiday ones usually at the top here. So I'm going to go into one of our Easter templates and then show you a little bit about their pop-up forms. Now you're going to see the templates very simple. You can drag and drop, super easy. If you want to just do a simple form, it's as simple as making sure you have what kind of fields you want in here, and then as simple as clicking enable. So let's go through some of the items that you can put in the form and some of the behaviors that you want to have set before you enable your form. As I mentioned, it's very easy, as simple as drag and drop. So right now it's starting with an email. You can add a phone number. You can see that we would like to maybe change the width of this. So we can go over here to your form layout, maybe drag it open a little bit more so you can see the phone number. One thing I want to point out here, and as you can see in your items on the left side here, so you email, phone number, legal consent. It's it's mandatory when you're adding a phone number. So if you drag it and drop it in here, you'll see over here which one you need to choose. In the US, we choose the TCPA, and make sure you're adding the information that's needed. This is very important when you're adding a phone number to a form. You can also add, we have different options here for checkboxes or radio buttons. So if you see a drag one in here, as simple as if you're trying to get to know your audience, whether they're female or male, very simple. You can you can change over here what you want your choices to be. You can also do the same thing with a checkbox. Very simple. If you want to say, go ahead and have, if you want to know what sizes that they like to look for. Small, medium, large, you can do something along those lines and change your options. So that's pretty amazing that you have a lot of options here where you can collect a lot of different information. So you can do it in a drop-down, radio button, checkbox, very simple. If you want to have information side by side, that's where the layouts come into effect. They're down here at the bottom. And that's how you can kind of manipulate your form a little bit more. As simple as it is, if you wanted to just collect phone number and email, let's go ahead and look at some of the behaviors on the right side here so that you know how you want your form to be set. So under audience management, if you want to set up a few forms and you want to know how you're collecting, how somebody came into your audience, this is where you can set a tag. So you can type in Easter form or Easter pop-up. Down here, you'll also see double opt-in. Double opt-in, that's if you want to make sure that if your contacts are 100% good quality and you click double opt-in, and then you can set up where they get an email confirmation so that you know for sure that they are opting in for your marketing. Just so you know, this is a great option if you do find that you're getting a lot of spam emails or low quality contacts. Okay. So when you do a form, you're going to want to make sure that your display, a lot of people can tend to not sure that they want to pop up because they don't want it to be invasive. They don't want to have somebody come on their website and a pop-up be right into their face. With that said, you have a couple different options. We recommend that you go ahead and do 5-10 seconds. So if they're on the page 5 or 10 seconds, then the pop-up shows. Very simple. You can also change it to how far they scroll down or maybe how many pages that they click on. One of these options that I really enjoy is the exit intent, trying to capture your contacts before they leave the website. So if you click on exit content, when they go to go to the top of the bar and try to click out of the website, then the pop-up will show. You can offer a discount and try to capture people before they leave your website. Okay, so now that you have when you want it to pop up, you also can target it if you do want it on a particular URL, one product landing page or a collection page or something like that. You can also schedule it. So this one perhaps to be an Easter deal, do you want it to only go for a particular week? When you click on scheduling, you can set the dates. Very simple. Here you also have the opportunity to see what it will look like on mobile. So this is a simple email looking how it looks on mobile. I will show you a little bit later some more mobile options so that you can have some images on there as well. So we will go ahead and go back. And one thing with the pop-ups, you do have the opportunity to have a teaser. So if you come scroll to the bottom down here, the teaser, if you click on it, will show you what it looks like. Again, this is a template, so you can change it. You click on it, you can change the text or the emoji. And then you can show how do you want it to show. So with teasers, a pop-up's great. So if you put a pop-up on your site, somebody accidentally checks out of it, then what? Now they don't have a place to go back into. So with a teaser, you can have it so that the teaser's there, they click on it and then the pop-up shows up, or the pop-up shows up and then if they click out of it, the teaser's still there. So the teaser can be there for later on. Do you still want the Easter deal? Yes, I want to sign up. So this is a really great way to be able to have that option, and you can do it before, after, or both. So with the teaser, you can style it and make it look to your brand colors or to for this a particular holiday, and change the shape of it. And then you can also change the location. Do you want it on the side, depending on how your website looks, left, right, or the bottom? And then if you decide later on that you don't want the teaser, you can always disable it. So I'm going to go back to the form now. So one other point at the bottom here is where it says success. You automatically have defaults for all of these templates will have all of these things defaulted for you, but you can change them. And just to know where they are, click on success. And this is what somebody will see once they click, enter their email and opt in for email marketing. So you'll see success and you can change anything here if you need to. And then you'll also see you're already subscribed if somebody has filled out the form. So here you are, this is your pop-up. You're on your way as everything is all set. All you have to do is click enable. Now at this point, you have your pop-up ready to go and it is on your site. Pretty simple. One thing to point out in here too, these little arrows at the top here will show you, these are the redo and undo buttons. So that's really helpful. If you've done something or moved something you didn't want it to be, you can click on that and go straight back. All right. So once you create this amazing pop-up, and then suddenly now you want to learn how to do landing page forms, and you realize I wanted this to be a landing page form. So we're going to move from pop-ups to landing pages now. You can actually create a pop-up and move it to a landing page so that you don't need to recreate this. How do you do that? You click over here to theme settings. You click on form layout, and now we're going to switch from the pop-up to a landing page. Boom. So now as you don't have to recreate something that you've been working on for a while and realize that it would be best for you to have a landing page versus a pop-up. Or if you have a pop-up you really like and you want it to be a landing page as well, copy it and switch it over to a landing page. Now you have the landing page all set. You're going to see a lot of the similar layout options here. And same thing with all the drag and drops. You can do all of that as well. So landing pages, let me explain to you a little bit about what our landing pages can do. Landing pages are a really great tool. So you can build a form and share it in different locations with a URL. So once you create the landing page, you get a URL and then you can share it in social media. You can share it on TikTok. You can do Instagram stories, profiles. You can share it on Facebook. One thing that I have a customer that really utilizes this really well is for actual physical events when they have trade shows and they want to be able to have somebody just sign up real easily. You can put it on an iPad and have this landing page already set. And every time somebody fills out the form, you have it redirected straight to the same page. So you're already set there. So other great ways to utilize a landing page form is if you're trying to collect birthdays? Do you want to collect more phone numbers and maybe do like a VIP club? Join our SMS VIP club and, share your phone number here, or give us your birthday and we'll give you 10% off on your birthday. So giving people a little special deal and making them feel like they're getting a little bit more. If you sign up for our SMS, if you sign up for our VIP SMS, you're going to know about out of stocks products before everybody else, or you're going to know about deals, special deals and promotions before everyone else. Those are going to be the ways that people are going to feel a little bit more enticed to give you some more information. So with that said, once you have your landing page, I'm going to show you here, you'll see you're going to have to save it. So when you save and close, that's when you're going to see the URL pop up right here where my arrow is. So I'm going to save it and close it. And as that loads, I will go right back in there and then show you where the URL is. And now you can copy and paste that. So that you can do that and you can put it in a campaign. You can add that URL to a button, to an image. You can have it as connected to some text. You can use landing pages in automations. So when you have automations with a few emails, you can have the SMS VIP club at the bottom of those emails and encourage people to sign up there. So there's a lot of use cases that you have for landing pages that I think you're really going to enjoy and realize how impactful these landing pages can be and what you can actually do with them. So that's pretty much everything that we have on our landing pages. So we have a few more options here that I want to make sure I go over. As Kate mentioned, we have embedded forms, and I'm also going to show you our Wheel of Fortune. So our Wheel of Fortune is a way to gamify. So I'm going to go ahead and close on out of here and show you back in our library as we load up here. Our Wheel of Fortune, if you go over here in the library here and click on Wheel of Fortune, it'll have some already set up for you here. So I will click on the first one here. And the Wheel of Fortune is a fun way to get people excited about signing up for your marketing activities. So it's spin the wheel. Do you get a 5% off, 10% off? Give us your email, and then you get this discount. So with that said, our Wheel of Fortune, you can change these colors, make them on brand, very simple, by changing your colors here, and then setting up your wheels. Very simple. It's just making sure that everything adds up to 100%. You can do 100% on 3% off, or, and make sure everybody will land on 3% off. Just to note, two things to note is no one ever lands on sorry. And so you may want make sure you fill everything else out for your discounts. And then for the discount codes, you can click on here to read more, but those will be generated in your e-com stores. They're not automatically generated in Omnisend, so make sure you're aware of that. But these are this is a pretty exciting way, and we do see quite a high conversion rate for our Wheel of Fortune pop-ups. So that's something else that I want to make sure I point that out. So that is a great way to use our gamified form. So now I'm going to go ahead and click back and get us to. So now I'm going to look at the embedded forms. So we've covered pop-up, we've covered our landing pages. I showed you a little bit about our Wheel of Fortune. Now I'm going to click on and show you our embedded forms. So an embedded form, typically like one that you would see in, say, a footer of your website. So it's going to be drag and drop, just as like the other ones. Make it nice and simple. With these forms, it's going to be the same way for embedded form. Once you save and close, you will see the code pop up right here. So we'll go ahead and do that so that you can see the code. And then you will very simply put that embedded form with that code onto your website. So as this pulls up, you now have your code to add. So add this code to your website and you will see this form exactly. So you have the options to move things around, change the colors, just like everything else. So those are the embedded forms as well. So I am going to pop back here. Okay. So in our library, we also have promotional forms, and I mentioned those earlier. So with the promotional forms, these are really excellent to be able to use to promote product launches, site-wide annual sales, something that you want everyone to see when they pop up when they come onto your website. So with that said, I'm just going to click on one here for an example. An excellent time to buy. So another one of our nice Easter holiday templates that we have. This one will show you two options. So this one's a site-wide sale of 15% off. And then, so for you to give them options, they can click on the sale, get the 15% off. Or if you want them to have another option, then you check this box and they'll go to another page. So you basically send them to a landing page or something else, that other product page that you want them to check, maybe a sale or maybe a collection. So these are really helpful. One thing I want to point out about these types of forms is that they're great. Scheduling these are a great idea because these are typically going to be just a small period of time. So you want to make sure that you're set that for a start time and a start date and an end date. So these forms, they can also have teasers as well. Okay, so with our forms, I want to make sure, I think I told you about a little bit earlier about our mobile forms. So with our mobile forms, you're going to be able to have a little bit more of a different template. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our mobile forms so you can see what kind of options you have there. And it's nice so that you have ones that are automatically set to be a mobile form, and you're not trying to alter a desktop form and squeeze it into the mobile where it gets cut off or you don't like the way that it looks. So these are very great templates so that it's very easy and simple to see on your mobile. So with that said, you still have all of your options to see everything with your pictures and the form width. If you want it to be a little bit wider, it's all still there. And you can do the same thing with your success message and your subscribes. Now, just make sure you pay attention so that the mobile, the pictures are on the top, and then desktop, the images will be on the side. And all right, going back to the library. And that is pretty much all of the forms that I wanted to make sure that we covered with you. We covered the pop-up, the embedded, our landing page forms. We know we have mobile, and then you have the gamified Wheel of Fortune. Then we also have the teaser. The teaser, again, is one that I would make sure that you take a look at using. It used to be called our sign-up bar. It is now the teaser, and that gives you the options to have that form pop up later. That's something, again, we still really want to point out. And that is everything that I have to show here. So I want to make sure that we have some time to go over some questions. I'm sure they've been popping up. So let's go ahead and take a look at those.
Right. Thank you so much, Danny, for that presentation and sharing your best insights. Before we go to the Q&A session, let me ask the most probably asked question about forms, specifically about the pop-up form. From your own experience, what would be the best setup for the pop-up form? Like to pop it, like so it pops when you open the website, or maybe when you scroll like 30% of the website, or maybe not on the main page, but somewhere in the product page. What would you recommend to our
Definitely on our homepage, you want to make sure you give them a little bit of time. So I would say about 5 to 10 seconds. I would say that would be your best option, because you want to be able to capture people before they leave. So, but you don't want it to be so invasive so that the second that they get on the site, before they have a chance to see the hero image or the menu bars or anything like that, that this pop-up is in their face and now they don't have a chance to see anything. So definitely make sure you do a little bit of a delay so that it gives a second before that pop-up comes up.
Awesome. Thank you. One more thing. Let's give an advice to our participants here on the Easter celebration. What we know is that approximately 87% of Americans plan to celebrate Easter this year, probably as every other year, but almost 40% intend to do their Easter shopping online. So this sounds like a great opportunity to, go there, collect those subscribers more, send more emails. So about the forms, how we can, use this celebration to grow our subscribers list.
Absolutely. I think this could be a scenario for Easter and all holidays. It's people get very excited, especially in the US, about holidays and feel like every holiday you're going to get a little bit of a deal. So I feel like giving people an option of using different forms and having it just be a little bit more exciting and a little bit more targeted toward a holiday that's coming up. It gives people a little bit more of excitement that they're going to get something special. So doing this for Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, we've got holiday forms for almost every holiday that we've got coming up. And it just definitely, we see a lot more of an increase and conversion when we do these different forms, as opposed to the regular, sign up and get 10% off. These are a little bit more exciting because everybody feels like there's something coming up, something exciting and new when a holiday comes. So yeah, definitely you want to check out the holiday forms, especially, Easter is the next one. So yeah.
Great, thank you so much. And we have those Easter forms right on our screen. So and our entire team encourage you to use those. We created them special for you for this celebration, and we keep updating our forums for every other celebration that there is. So please do use it. It will definitely help, create this as Danny just said, create this excitement to your customers, thinking that, well, this is a celebration. They are offering something like a discount or like $5 off, anything that you are ready to offer to your customers. It would be a great, a step to grow your contact list. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's now move to the Q&A session. We have a lot of questions to be answered. So Danny, I would like you to stop sharing the screen so we have our speakers visible to everyone. And now I would ask Carolina and Augustina to take over. I think that you already answered a couple of questions in the Q&A, but let's go through them also quickly. So, if anybody was also wondering but didn't ask that question, so they hear your answer and also apply that knowledge. Let's move to the Q&A. Carolina and Augustina, I'd like you to jump in.
All right, so let's first start from the questions that we already answered so that everyone knows if they have similar question. So Shauna asked if people don't put their phone number, just like email, will it flag as an error, or the visitor can proceed without providing the additional data? So actually, it depends on your setup of the form. If you, for instance, set your phone number as optional and email field as mandatory, then you will be able to proceed without error if the mandatory field is filled in. So basically, it depends how you set up the form.
Yeah. Also, Melinda asked, can you select both mobile and desktop even if your mobile site is not up and running yet? So of course, yes, you can, but again, we would advise to test it out, as every website is different and every situation is also different.
We also had a question, is there a possibility to copy already made form and, for instance, change the way it looks from pop-up to maybe another type? So in the forms list, there's a possibility, after saving and closing the form that you've been working on, there's a possibility to copy the created form, and then you can make adjustments and enable the second form.
And Shauna finally asked, is there anything in Omnisend to help how to add the embedded form code to your website? So every platform is different, but we outline the most used ones like Shopify, I think even BigCommerce in the embedded form knowledge base article. So you can find all the information there. And if you don't, we will always try to update it with the relevant information.
But probably to a bit fill in here, while you're creating an embedded form in Omnisend, we provide, after the saving the new form, we provide a small piece of code, which later can be actually added into your e-commerce platform through the e-commerce platform to your store.
Yeah, and we also have questions in the chat. So Samira asked, sometimes I try to give discount codes through pop-ups, and there is a choice when Omnisend is gonna generate one, and it's not generated. So just to be clear, in pop-ups, we don't generate discounts. You always have to add it by yourself. It's only generated in emails. We look forward to having it in the future, but currently you have to make it in your platform and add the code there. They are always not generated. And in the Wheel of Fortune, you have to add it manually.
Yeah, and just a bit elaborate here. When you add the a discount block into your form, you have two options: static code, which you enter, and the another option is to use Wheel of Fortune code. But it actually means that you still need to add the pre-generated code from any other place into the Wheel of Fortune as well.
Yeah.
All right, then we had a question: is there a possibility to prevent a pop-up from showing to those that already are on the list? So actually, if your visitor has subscribed to a specific pop-up, we will not show it again if the same visitor comes to the shop after some time through the same browser, same device, and stuff like that. But if the visitor will come to your website using another device, the pop-up will be shown again. Unfortunately, at the moment, we do not have a possibility to exclude already collected subscribers from not showing the pop-ups.
Okay. The next question that Haley said is she likes to add advanced animations when sending emails, and she uses GIFs from Canva. And I'm wondering about a database in Omnisend that I may not be aware of. So we don't have, if you're referring to a GIF database, we don't have one, but you can always upload your own GIFs and it will display in both emails and forms. And yeah, just use whatever you wish. No restraints here.
Okay, another question is, can we schedule all forms in advance for all the holidays for the year? So yes, you can. We have a scheduling option available where you can choose the start date of your form or the end date of your form, or you can even schedule it for the specific time range. So you can actually pre-build all holiday forms that you might need for the upcoming year.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any data on what is best to capture emails, the pop-up or the exit intent form? Do we have concrete data?
I'm not sure now, cannot remember so quickly.
Yeah, but in general, we recommend trying everything. You can have two different forms, one on exit intent, one just a simple form, and it doesn't have to be one form only. You can have multiple forms for multiple purposes. Maybe sweeten the deal on the exit intent, maybe it's a higher, if people are exiting, maybe add a higher discount, or maybe not. So it can change.
Also, I think that it's important to highlight that it depends what's the use case you're trying to solve. If you just want to capture the attention of your visitor right away, they landed on your website, then maybe it's better to use other targeting. But if you want to, for instance, avoid the exit from the specific product page or from checkout with offering some discount or free shipping or any other benefit, then probably the exit intent pop-ups would work better. How far in advance of the holiday should you add the holiday form? Well, it again depends on the campaign you might be running. If you, for instance, are running some gamified contest or something like that, you might want to collect some contacts before, so that you, for instance, give a prize during the holiday. Or but what we see, majority of our customers likes to prepare a couple of weeks in advance. They build their forms, they test them out, and then they start collecting the subscribers.
Yeah, maybe a month in advance.
Yeah.
I see. And Evelyn asked that she has a question about images. They are forever turning around 90 degrees to be the wrong way around. I can't really comment in detail, but what I would recommend is to contact support with this issue and share a detailed video. And then we can really analyze the situation. And if it's an issue, we will fix this if it's fixable. But they will help you solve this issue, basically.
All right, then we have a question: what's the difference between pop-up and landing page? So I think that one of the biggest differences is that pop-ups are running on your website. So you have to invite your visitors to come to your website. They are exploring your website, and then pop-up appears on the specific pages or after specific actions. That depends how you set up the pop-up. While the landing page is a separate page where you can provide even more information, have more fields added, collect more data about your customers, and you can share the link wherever you want. For instance, on your social media or any other, media where you want. And this actually helps to invite the traffic to the landing page, which later can be redirected to your website.
Okay, the second question in the Q&A is what is the best way to create a quiz funnel so that the subscribers can choose from free segments, hair care, makeup, skincare before they click on the subscribe button, so I can collect this data for better segmentation. So what we would recommend is to basically add an email and add some checkboxes or radio buttons. It depends if these can be inclusive or not. And you will receive this data in the context information and just segment by this information. So as Danny showed, checkboxes and radio buttons in the form.
We also have a question: is there a way to geographically target forms, for instance, for a specific region? So at the moment, we do not have this option, but it might be available in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we can target if you say have different languages, like and your shop store URL has say English or Spain, like AN or ES, see different links, you can target by different links with different languages. So that's available, but not by location. Yeah, and is there a way to A/B test forms? There's no such feature like A/B testing, but you can do it like a plain stupid way, just enabling and disabling the form once a month or once a week and changing something and just checking the metrics, but no kind of feature for that.
Not sure if this one is a question.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, do I need a legal consent as well as a double opt-in? I'm not sure about the UK laws as they exited from the European Union, but previously you would have to have the GDPR, and the double opt-in varies country by country. So in Germany, it's more strict. In other countries, it's not as.
And as far as I know, UK doesn't follow GDPR requirements, but they have a separate law, which is talking about privacy policy and data protection and stuff like that. Then what is an average acceptable spam rate? Augustina, do you know?
What do you mean by spam rate? By email rate?
Carrie, maybe you can specify the question so that we can, well,
Yeah.
probably provide better answer.
But in general, our system will say when something is not acceptable and you're breaking your thresholds. So you will be blocked and you will know in any other way. Yeah, but if you can elaborate, it would be more clear.
And then we have a question, is a checkbox for German GDPR sufficient or is the double opt-in necessary? Well, as far as I know, it's mandatory to collect the consent and provide a link to privacy policies so that the subscriber can reach that information at any time and have a possibility to unsubscribe from communication as easily as it was to subscribe to it. However, maybe Augustina will fill me in, but double opt-in is more needed to know if you want to actually be.
In Germany, it's recommended.
It's recommended.
It's highly
Okay.
recommended.
Okay.
So yeah.
Then we have answer.
Yeah, but we don't know each country's legal law, so you always have to check by yourself. But as I heard, so it's highly recommended to have double opt-in and a checkbox.
All right.
Yeah.
I think these are all the questions, although we have one more that I will answer. It's about the recording. Again, the recording will be available after the workshop, specifically tomorrow. You will be able to find it on our Academy platform and also YouTube channel, but don't worry if you don't have time to go to our platforms. We will send you a follow-up email with the link to the recording so you'd be able to rewatch it again. Share it with somebody else. Don't worry, you're not gonna lose this workshop. We are done with the questions. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for your interest in participating in our workshop. I would like to also ask you to fill out the survey that you will see after we will end this workshop. If you have time, just a couple of minutes to tell us what other topics you are interested in, and if you liked this presentation, if you learned something new, we would really appreciate that. Also, would like to remind you that we will have more workshops like this on different kind of topics, on the email builder, forms builder, segmentation, and so much more. So by answering the survey after this one, you will really help us to, come up with more ideas, what we could share with you and help you learn more. Thank you so much for participating. Thank you so much to our team, Denny, Carolina, and Augustina, for sharing their knowledge. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon in the next workshop. So bye, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you and bye.